Well, I got some gas for the truck and I got it running for 5 minutes, and it's raining and raining and raining, and it's been raining for 2 days straight. And let me see if I can do something. And then I found out that I have a leak on the camper. I put a bucket in there and it's collecting about half a glass of water per day. So it's leaking, and the screw, one screw attaching the lamp is rusted, so water is coming through there, and another screw attaching the rail that the cabinet rolls in and out. So I gotta get up on the ceiling, on the roof, and find the hole and patch. And I'm gonna have to buy that putty. I think I had some left over and I looked for it. I couldn't find it, so I gotta get the putty and apply it so I don't have any more leaks. I wanted to do a little bit of winter camping, and there's a lot of snow on the mountains now. So let me see the yeah, I don't know if that's condensation or is that burning water or antifreeze. Gotta check on that. But the heater works good. I feel it here. All right, that's enough for now. Let's look it up. So I'm tired of watching TV. I was looking at some videos and research and stuff. Nothing that I'm ready to talk about now because I'm not finished. So I'm just gonna sit and smoke myself a little pipe. It's situated here. And I got some water on the camera. I'm gonna wipe that. Okay. So yes, it's a boring day. I'm gonna get some my 14-gallon tank and get some gas. And I was gonna bring some gas for the quad because supposedly tomorrow we're gonna go. And when I say we, I'm talking about my cousins, her husband, her sons, my cousins, a bunch of cousins. Everybody got quads. They got motor. They got a trailer. Another guy has a fifth wheel. And one of my cousins bought a piece of land in the desert. So we're gonna go there and do a campfire and wait for New Year's in the desert with the quads ready to go the next day. There's some snow there now because it's cold, and the snow has come down to 3,000 feet now. So the quad runs because I used it not too long ago. It just needs some, to top it off of gas. And we're gonna do that. But now I get a text saying, hey, the trip is canceled because everybody's sick. And I said, is it COVID? And he says, no, I think it's the flu. So it's, if it ain't one thing, it's another. If it's not COVID, it's going to be the flu. If it's not flu, it's going to be COVID. So, which is the same shit. So, I spent a couple of days staying up with my mother. On the way, a block away from her place, there's this tobacco place. And I bought a couple of cigars and a bag of pipe tobacco. And my mom tripped on her way to the car. She tripped right in front of the door. Somehow flipped around, landed with her left shoulder on the wheel of the front tire, broke her humerus. And here we go again to the hospital. So she's been in recouping for a week. So my sister spent 3 days, and then she had to go back to work, and then I spent 2 more days, and then we have a lady that comes in now and takes care of her, cooking, cleaning, the same things that everybody's been doing. And all she does is lay there on the sofa, take her medicine for pain, and then talks about the old days. And every time we sit down to talk, she tells me a new story. She is like the Greeks, they call the oracles. Is a historian in words. And I say, why don't you write this down? Because she's got so many stories about things, family and people and places from the old country. And I'm going, I didn't know this. And she started talking about this and that. I said, I didn't know that. I mean, things that are not really important. It's just the things that happen around us, um, and around about the family. So, man, she can talk. She's at 10 o'clock at night. I had to say, okay, are you going to go to sleep? Because she kept going and going and going. I'm trying to watch the news, and I said, okay, slow down. Let me listen to this. I want to see how the weather's going to be. So finally, she went to sleep. The pills knocked her out, and she went to sleep. So I'm going to see tomorrow. It's going to be nice and sunny. So I'm thinking of taking the dogs to the mountains here, close by, where there's about 3 feet of snow. Let them run around, have fun, because they've been cooked up in here. And then when I'm done with that, I'm gonna do a little bit of. I'm gonna take my mom some hot chocolate and some knickknacks and whatever she needs. She's got a bunch of canned goods and everything, but I'm gonna take her some food, maybe some lunch, and spend the rest of the day with her. And then the 31st, we're gonna just sit here, my woman and me and my 2 dogs, my babies, and just wait for the year. And I'm hoping that this new year is a lot better than this one, because this one's been disastrous. You name it, and there's nothing good about it. You know, the freaking COVID doesn't go away. People are dying. People are sick. I got a friend that he commutes to work, and the lady she commutes with, she got COVID. So he got scared and he got tested. And he works in a hospital, so they get tested every week. So he said it came out negative, and then they tested again, came out negative. So now he hears that some cousin is sick. The only person that's sick around him is his wife, but everybody else got it. So he says, I'm surrounded. We haven't gotten it. My sister hasn't gotten it. Uh, well, I'm not sure about my sister, because she was pretty sick at the beginning, and then it kind of went away. So I don't know if it was COVID or not, but she's fine now. The rest of the family, I know my cousin across the county got it, and she's a little flimsy thing. She's only 115 pounds, small girl. Well, she came out of it okay. I heard about a lady, some 92-year-old lady that got COVID. She came out of it okay. So I think it's the people that are dying, people that already have some issues with some serious illnesses, lung disease or heart disease or something like that. And then when you get COVID, COVID just kind of gives you the coup de grace. It just finish you off. But if you have a pretty good uh, constitution, you're healthy, and you get COVID, you'll be okay. Now, I know a guy that he's younger than me. He's in his 50s. He got COVID more than a year. This is at the beginning, and it's been a year already that he hasn't, his taste bud hasn't returned. That sucks. They have this dish in front of you, and you can't taste it. You probably can't even smell it. And that's the worst of it. If you don't die, at least, man, don't take my taste buds away, because I want to know what I'm eating. I want to enjoy what I'm eating. So this has been a horrible year. And then in politics, let's start with California. The idiot governor, because I call him an idiot to his face. If he wants to come here in front of me, I'll tell him. He says he's going to be tough on crime. You know what he's doing? He's going to pay people money to return their guns. You think a criminal is going to return their guns? Their illegal guns? They've been holding up people in the streets. They've been doing smash and grab robberies in the malls in Beverly Hills, everywhere. And that's what this idiot's going to do. Oh, I'm going to collect all the guns. Yeah, that's going to help a lot. Then, I just heard a couple of days ago that there's a couple of juvenile institutions here in the next city and in our city to rehabilitate juvenile delinquents. And I met one in Mexico, and he says, "Oh yeah, you live next to that area," and he's fine. He's got his own business. So now they want to convert that into an adult facility with hardened criminals, because they don't want to build any more prison. They just want to shove them in a different area. So everybody doesn't like this, and they're writing about it, against it. Uh, so then the gasoline here, the the next day that Biden got in power, gas went up to 4.45. It went up $1.50 overnight. When Trump was in power, gas here was 2.80, 2.89, uh, three some places. Well, I jumped to four something, and now I just put some gas. It's 4.48, and this is the cheap regular gas, not the expensive high grade. So the gas situation is bad. All these people with their stupid ideas that, well, not even gonna get into it. It's just one failure after another, one failure after another. Now I heard also that they want the public to separate the waste food from the trash. So when you're gonna get rid of clean your plate, they don't want you to put it in the trash. I don't know where they want you to put it. I know where I want to put it. Idiots. So I don't know if we're gonna get a new receptacle for that, or we're gonna throw this in the ocean. I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know, we're gonna bury it, or I don't know. They're probably gonna say, "Oh, let's do. Everybody gets a box of what do you call it? Compost, and create compost." Because these people think like agrarians. They think that everybody's a hippie. Never been one. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. Are they going to vote it, or are we going to vote to it, or they're going to come up with it? Because they come up with laws, and then they're going to see the consequences. The same things that they're doing with the fire department and the police. They want them to get vaccinated, obligated, and a lot of them said no. So now what's happening is that there's a lot of early retirement. The police department lost 9% this year. They're losing their experienced detective, their experienced investigators, their experienced cops, sergeants and captains. I mean, if they're getting close to retirement age, they'll say, okay, I want to quit early. I want to, because they don't want to get obligated to get, why should you? I know that they're public servant. I know that, and I know that they deal with the public. I know that, but they should have the right to say yes or no. This is not. This is not the old diseases that they wiped out whole tribes of Indians. With the measles or smallpox, that kind of stuff. It is contagious, but it's not deadly. I mean, now they're saying that you don't need to quarantine for 10 or 14 days. Now you can do it okay in 5. So they don't even know. They don't even know. Before it was like the end of the world. Now it's, oh, if you get it, if you're vaccinated, you only go quarantine for 5 days and then you're cool. So it's an uncertainty, and they're not 100%. Every time that Fauci guy, the director of medicine, he speaks, he changes the story every time. So he's not even sure. And then he's supposed to be involved with the Chinese. That they, he already went to Congress and the Senate and everything. They chewed him out because he was doing things with the Chinese that were getting paid to explore this medicine and convert it into a weapon, and that's what's going on. Well, it's still up in the air. I'm not sure. I know that the Chinese were working on it, and I know it got away from them, from that lab. And this is the result. The weak are dying, and everybody else is going crazy. There are fights in the airplanes. People don't want to get put on the rack. They've had it. They're getting drunks in their bars before they hop on the plane. They already canceled the liquor on the planes, but they still can drink in the airport. So while they're waiting for the plane, they're getting hammered. Then they go in and they get rowdy and they want to fight. It's not what it used to be. When I used to work at the airport as security, people would drink, and there was alcohol, little bottles in the airplane that you can purchase, and everybody was fine. You have a few drinks. If you got a little bit tipsy, I mean, I was at the international wing, the airport there, so I was getting all the international flights. Air France used to be called Air Chance because it was never on time, because there was a delay for one thing or another, and everybody off the plane was tipsy. Everybody coming off the plane was tipsy, and nobody was fighting because there wasn't that stress. It wasn't that that everybody telling you what to do, and you get fed up with it, and you revolt. You just want to fight back and slap somebody, and that's what's going on now. So before you used to have a drink and you get off and you're like, whoa, hey, where's my luggage? That kind of thing. And I would see that. And now, Jesus Christ, I wouldn't want to work there now. It's incredible. I was there for a few years, and it was one of the happiest, I had a lot of fun there. I met a lot of people. I learned a little French, because actually I was the security. Let me see. Air Concorde came in, and I met the captain, and he didn't speak much English, and I spoke a little French in between the two. We communicated. He wanted me to go work with him as an assistant flight engineer, because I studied some of that, and he gave me, in fact, I should have it handy. I don't have it now, but I'm going to make a video. He gave me a pamphlet with the photos for all the landings they were doing on their world tour, the information of how many gallons, how fast it goes, and the altitude and everything else. And I went in and I took pictures, because once that plane landed, we put a tape around it, a yellow tape, and nobody could go into that plane or around the plane for nothing. It had to be under permission, and I was under orders not to let anybody come back in, not even the captain pilot couldn't go back in until it was time to fly. So maintenance would show up with a written order, and I would read it, and I'll say, okay, what are you going to do? Oh, I'm going to check this and that. It's okay. So I'll be standing by, and I know that there's no funny business. Because back then there was a bombing at the airport. They caught the guy and they put him away. So they were kind of leery and say, somebody could come and put something on the wing or on the tire, or, under the wing or whatever. So I was in charge of that, and I had fun, man. I had fun. Then I was taking care of the checking the 747s, the L1011s, the 727. My favorite little plane that has the hatch and the stairs in the back that come down. That plane is so cool, really fast. So I was working for different sections of the airport, including Air Tiger. I don't know if they're still around. That they used to transport a lot of merchandise. So back then at the airport, it was a lot more relaxed. Beautiful stewardesses. I met the women from the stewardesses from Pan Am. Uh, Man, it was a delight. It was a delight. Intelligent women, educated women, and I was just a kid. I was in my 20s, but I would look at these girls and they were all elegant, and they weren't the young ones. They were in the 20s, like PSA. PSA has some beautiful girls in shorts. They were all in their 20s. They won't even get to the 30s. But Pan Am had ladies in their 40s and even early 50s, and they looked very elegant. They were educated. They weren't just anybody like they have now. Now they have people that just push you, and it's not the same quality. I know there's some girls there that they mean well, and but I have one that slammed me here with her hips. She didn't even turn around to tell me I'm sorry or excuse me, nothing. All these women were select. The staff and everybody was professional. Everybody, was good there at the time I was working there, and never had a problem. But now, with this tension and everybody's antagonized, everybody's pissed, everybody's, and then everybody had to wear a mask, and you can't do this. People get tired of it, and one day somebody's gonna, lose their that fuse is gonna get real short, and they're gonna really get crazy. I hope not, but in the airport anything can happen. But when I was there, man, it was another world. In fact, I remember that this girl, I had a buddy working at the ground floor. I was at the second floor, and we kind of switched back and forth. And then when I went to relieve him, he tells me, "Hey, you know what happened?" I said, "No, what happened?" He goes, "This girl came over with a mink coat, and she went like this, and she said, 'Do you have the time?'" She was completely naked, and I said, "What'd you do?" And I said, "Don't tell me you're going to give the time of day. Get on the watch and say, okay, it's 12:30." She said, "No, I mean, she wanted some action, but I'm working." I said, "Well, get her number, man. What are you doing?" So things like that happen. It didn't happen to me, but I wish it did. But it was fun. It was just fun. It was a whole different time in the 70s. It was glorious. So now we're at the end of the year, waiting for the storm to pass, and maybe the sun will come out tomorrow, like the song goes, and go to the mountains. So let's see how it goes. I want to do a video about the Concorde, because that was a very interesting plane, and I'm really, really sad that they had to shut it down. But yeah, it was a guzzler. It was a guzzler. I'm going to talk about it. So, okay, guys, I want to say Merry Christmas, and I hope the next year will be a lot better than this one. And also for you hunters, to see if you can all catch a deer. I'm going to be looking for different areas. I don't think I'm going back to the old spot. I'm going to spend some time looking for a different area and see if I get lucky and I get the tag for that area. So yeah, have a good one, man. And eat well. Don't drink too much. Happy New Year.